Yo, Kpaceguy here. What's going on, YouTube? We are out here in the garage. Decided that I was going to talk about these sets of 7 speakers here. These are the Fluance Signature Series speakers. I decided to pull them out of the closet after 3 years of being released. There's cars going by, as you can see, so I do apologize for any sound that we hear. But other than that, guys, let's talk about these speakers here. How are they handling 3 years later after being on the market? Are people still talking about them? Are they still buying them? How do they sound now? I thought I would make a review on them since I still own them and haven't talked about them since I've had them in my system. So we have 2 towers here. You see the big towers here in the front, followed by 2 bookshelf speakers on the left and the right, and then their bipole speakers are on the back. Now here on the middle we have the Fluance Signature Series, the center channel here sitting there. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about this for those who still think that they want the Fluance, because I've had some questions about them and still have comments on the videos about the Fluance. I'm going to go ahead and break it down to you guys one more time. This will be the last time you see these on my channel, most likely, at least in this depth. So, like I said, we have the tower sitting here. They're a 3-way design, 4-driver speaker there. The yellow speaker that you see on all of the speakers here are 5-inch woven glass fiber speakers. So all the yellow that you see there are fiberglass, made from fiberglass, 5 inches. They're shared across the entire line from their bookshelves up to their towers. Even the center channel has dual fiberglass 5-inch speakers. These are rated at 90 to 200 watts at 8 ohms. So not too hard to drive. They sound phenomenal. You can put them on an AV receiver and be fine with it. But I do recommend, if you want the best sound out of these speakers, definitely look into getting an integrated amplifier. It sounds much better that way, especially with how Fluance was aiming at people, the audiophiles they were aiming for. They really went out for that market. They really want you to be serious about your sound when you're getting these speakers, because that's what they intended them to be used for. They're rated down to 35 Hertz, which I can personally attest to now. In my small theater, I've gotten down way lower than 35 Hertz for sure. For sure. I've turned off my subs and listen to these by themselves, and they sound like my subs were still on. I can't tell you how many times I've walked around the room making sure that my subs were on, and they weren't. It was just the power of these speakers. They're 8-inch speakers, the 2 black ones you see at the bottom. They're 200 watts max, and they sound phenomenal, and they both get down to 35 Hertz. But I can promise you now that they get lower than that. Maybe I'll give it down to 27, 26. I'm sure they sound even better in a bigger environment. Be sure to check out the video. I do have some videos of them playing. I do have some movie demos and music demos of these, and then more in-depth reviews. So check those videos out. They are rear-ported. And it's funny, the only speaker in their line that's not reported is their bookshelves. They're small. I'll go ahead and show you. They're small ports right here. If I can just prop this up. Take this they are magnetized grills, which is awesome. But they have these small ports here. Let me go ahead and crank that brightness up for you. These 2 little ports they have in the front. And I've heard some people ask me, is there port chuffing? Is there anything like that? And of course, with any speaker, if you turn it up loud enough and pump enough bass through it, you're going to get port chuffing. But any moderate to heavy volume and usage, you're not going to have any distortion or any port chuffing. It sounds really, really good. And I agree with the idea of making these front-fired ported speakers, because you're going to have these against the wall if you're using in a surround sound application. You're going to have them in the wall. But when they made these, they thought more so about the music listening people. And you have that port in the front to help reinforce that bass. Because you're not going to, if you're going to listen to this with like a vinyl player or something, you're not going to have it on the wall. You're going to have them pulled out into the room a little bit. So it wasn't really a need to have the port on the back, because usually when you have a port in the back, you're using the room compensation, the boundary gain, the wall, to add extra bass emphasis to a speaker who otherwise doesn't have any bass. But they didn't do that with these speakers, and I agree with that decision. Now with the center channel, let me go back. I got these speakers. I got the Fluance Tower speakers first before I got the whole package, and they retail for $999. You can find these now for $699, and then you can get most of this package that you see here. You can get most of that for about $1,000. They have different packages. You can get the two floor standards, the center channel, and the bookshelves for $1,000, or you can swap out the bookshelves for the 2 bipoles in the back, or you can keep the bookshelves and get a subwoofer. There's many customizations you can get on their site, and they all have amazing reviews on it. So make sure if you look into this, check out the reviews and check out their site. There's a lot of different options you can get. I haven't heard their subwoofer, but I heard it's pretty good. I think it's the 10-inch, so it's more for a smaller room, but I heard it's pretty good. Now to the center channel is $149.99 by itself. This tower is $99.99 by themselves. The center channel is really, really good actually. It's not very big. I think it weighs like, I don't know, maybe 16.9 pounds. Very, very good center channel. It uses the same material that's used in their floor standards, the 5-inch woven glass fiber with beautiful surrounds. And it goes down to 60 hertz. It's at 8 ohms, 120 watts. It's rear ported. So if you have this in a cabinet or on a TV stand, it does help a little bit with the lower frequencies. It actually gets down to pretty low, I believe. Like this is 60 hertz, but it gets down lower than that. All the speakers get lower than rated, which is actually really, really good. Back to the bookshelves, they're $199.99 for the pair. And that's really, really good because these sound phenomenal. I've listened to them in 2-channel setting. I have a video of them playing in a 2-channel setting, and they sound awesome in pure direct mode with all electronics off, processing off. It sounds amazing. And people have commented about theirs and how they love it for vinyl and just 2-channel listening, and it's great. I've even put them in a home theater application, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but just for the fun of it, I did that just for you guys to see. But what these really are made for is for people who want to listen to that 2-channel audio, who don't have a big setup or don't want big tower speakers, or maybe you have a bookshelf system with a small 8-inch sub, something like that. These speakers work perfect with a small subwoofer like maybe an SVS PV1000 or something like that. Works beautiful with that. Let's keep it moving, guys. We're going to go down to the bipolar surrounds. Those are the speakers here in the back. Go ahead and show you guys that. While we're painting around, all the speakers, they come in either black ash, which is what I have here, or they come in like a walnut, which is more like a brown color. And they all share the same glossy front, which these are beautiful speakers. I think these speakers weigh about 69.5 pounds. I think everything else is under 20 pounds. But these are the bipoles, and it's really weird to call them bipoles because most bipoles have one set of speaker and tweeter combination facing one way and then another speaker and tweeter facing the other direction. But these use a different technology, kind of like my Polks do in my room. They have 2 tweeters that are facing opposite directions, and then they have that 5-inch speaker in the middle firing directly at you. And it actually has been very, very effective. I found it more effective as side surrounds than I did as rear surrounds. And that's because when you have on the rear surrounds, you're probably not going to have that tweeter bouncing off the wall behind you. But when you have it on the side, it does add a little bit of dispersion with the high frequencies across your room. And it sounds really, really good. It sounds really, really good. What's crazy about these speakers is that they're rated down to 40 hertz. Now, if you look at this box, I don't know if that makes sense or not. They are ported with one bigger port, but they're rated down to 40 hertz. I apologize for the mess, guys. I'm actually in the process of moving, so I got all these things in the garage, but ignore that if you can. But these speakers, as a package, sound phenomenal together. And I had it paired with a PB1000 subwoofer. I had 2 of them. And they just sounded so good together. It complemented it really, 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 really well. But I recommend if you're going to have these speakers to go ahead and get a bigger subwoofer. The PB1000 is a 300 watt RMS, 720 watt max 10-inch subwoofer, which sounds phenomenal. But I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had like a PB2000, which is 1100 watts max, a 12-inch speaker, or even a little bit more, maybe a PB13 Ultra, not too big. You don't want to have an overpowering sub because these speakers are really delicate. They're really more for the audiophile, music listening type of people. They do sound phenomenal for home theater and video game applications if you do like that. The speakers here, the towers, they sound phenomenal. I can't believe how good they sounded. I didn't think it could be topped as far as where my budget goes, but of course I got my Polk audio, which I love them just as much. But I'm never going to get rid of these Fluance speakers, I don't think. I'm going to have two home theater systems in my house. I'm going to have my main Polk audios in my living room, and then I'll have these in the bedroom just in case I want to be in the room and still have some audio. But I will keep these. They look phenomenal. They look great. This is one of my biggest investments as a home theater. So this is probably my first step into premier home theater, big audiophile stuff right here, Fluance. I've had a lot of Fluance models before this, so I'm very familiar with the name, the brand, and with these speakers right here. And I recommend them to everybody who loves music and movies. They're very versatile. They sound great. The bass is unreal. I've shaken the whole house with just the tower speakers. I played around in music and movies. They sound great for everything, guys. So I wanted to talk about these one more time because I haven't talked about them in a while, and it's been 3 years now since they came out with these, and believe it or not, they have an updated version of these too with better crossovers, the same components but crossovered better, you know. And that crossover was a big complaint when these first came out because it was crossovered at a very weird point, so it almost sounded very bloated, very heavy. The voices were heavy. From music, movies it was fine, but from music that delicacy was not there because the crossover was so incorrect. But they went back and they fixed it, and I've heard nothing but great reviews. People have gone back and edited their reviews from the first time to the second time. So now if you order these online or wherever you want, they're gonna have the new crossover and things in it. Now be careful if you're going to get used. Make sure you ask if you're gonna get them used when they got them, because if they got them in 2016 and on, they're gonna have the new crossovers. But if you got them when they first came out, they might not, unless they went back and got them serviced. So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Just wanted to step back into time and talk about the Fluance speakers. These are phenomenal speakers. Do not be afraid to get these. $1,000 is way more or way less than you should be paying for these speakers when you put the package together. They sound great. $699 for these tower speakers, or $699.99 for these speakers is a phenomenal price point for what you're getting. They sound great. They look great. They rival klipsch's best line. I mean, even more. There's some Kef that they beat. That's a big statement, but there's some of Kef's models that they beat, not Kef's bigger models, not their Q line, but they do beat some name brand speakers that you're accustomed to hearing. And Fluance is not a very big brand out there, but let's go ahead and get one more walkthrough of these before the video ends. But guys, this is gonna do it for this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Let me know what you want to see. If you like this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Fluance. Have you heard them? Have you seen them? What do you think about Fluance as a company? They look really good, don't they? I just love the yellow. This kind of reminded me of klipsch's copper. People love the copper. Nobody puts the covers on their klipsch speakers anymore because they look so good without them, especially their new line coming out. And this is kind of the same thing with these. They look really, really good. You can put the grills on and make a subtle look, or you can really make it demanding and take the grills off and just have yellow all over the place. It looks really cool. That's gonna do it, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Let's keep things going. It's been a great year so far, and I've had a lot of fun, guys. So, Kpaceguy out.